Hello everyone, my name is Pilk Milk, and today I'm going to be fixing one of these three popularly stiff figures imaginable. Now, these two are from Storm Collectibles. It's Baki Hanma and Yujiro Hanma, and this one is from Sexy Ice Manticora. When they were released, I don't really remember, but the fact is I had them and they're all stiff. Well, they used to be all stiff. Unfortunately, I have already tried to fix all of these already, which unfortunately was successful, I guess, for the case of this video. But just to show off what's going on, I'm going to be using lubricant. This lubricant specifically is bike oil and bike lubricant, which I don't recommend just because of its smell and simply because there's better options than bike lubricant. Now, the ones that I mentioned on the website, I've seen people use soap, I guess dish soap, synthetic oil, someone use gun oil, other people actually use real lube, Yeah, you know what type of lube I'm talking about. And then shock oil, the one that's most popular from a YouTube short video that I see constantly when it comes to how to fix these types of figures. Now, like I mentioned, I'm going to be fixing this Baki Hanma since unfortunately it's already fixed. But it doesn't mean it doesn't come with some issues that I left alone simply because it's fine to have a stiff figure. The issue is if it's too stiff, because if it's too stiff, it could lead to it snapping off, which is something you absolutely do not want. Now, for the case of this Baki figure specifically, although that was kind of sus, forget about it. When it comes to this figure specifically, its legs, Baki's legs, these pieces right here have been extremely stiff. Because of these extremely, common issues that I guess this Baki has, it kind of leads to a bit of a problem. Again, like I mentioned, it's snapping. Although you can't hear it, you can tell me kind of struggling a little bit or even this thing jumping a bit when it comes to how stiff it is. Now, to fix it, it's simple when you use this lubricant or any type of lubricant that I mentioned, simply because as lube does, it just makes it a lot easier for it to move or even just slide around. Now, specifically how much lubricant you're going to be using for any of the given things, it kind of just depends on how stiff the figure is. As I mentioned already, this figure still has a bit of an issue when it comes to full turning, sometimes having too much grip causing it to be really stiff, as you can maybe see on these little jumps that it does. I didn't use too much lubricant, thus is the reason why it's not so stiff and not too loose. But because I want to loosen it up just a little bit more, I'll be using this oil. And how much, again, depends on how stiff it is. So in this case, I'm just going to use a few dots, spin it around a bit. Oh, you heard how stiff that was? Yeah, that's the issue that this Baki figure sometimes has. And ignoring my neighbors saying someone's crazy outside. After a bit of movement, hopefully, again, depending how much lubricant you're going to be using for any piece in question, it should loosen up a lot better. Unfortunately, this figure was already fixed, as mentioned, but hey, a little more loose is a lot better. As you can see now, the jumps are more far and few between. Now I have to do nearly a full movement. It can do a full movement without it pausing or even stopping, which is great. Again, I don't want it to be too loose or else I'm just going to have another issue being that it's loose. But yeah, that's how you use lubricant. Hopefully it works. Note that depending what type of figure you're using, this fix specifically is not going to be 100% deal. Even for this figure, as you can tell, it's not 100%. Maybe it's because of the lubricant. Maybe it could just be because of the figure. But again, not all fixes are 100%. It's just there's a good likelihood that it could fix your figure in question. That's why it's one of the few things that you could try first, then see if another fix can help. But yeah,